women in business to build a sustainable and better future. As you all know, and you are all our members who are joining us from across the world, we are in now 21 countries, and we have 21 country presidents, including our regional presidents in some of the countries in Mekong and in Europe. And we are very glad that, this initiative has started giving results, and women are basically getting the benefit of the work which the organization started and working on. To start this dialogue, I want to also let you know that this is our inaugural ABWCI dialogue series. It's a chat series to create a productive spaces for that invites key stakeholders of this ecosystem to join and listen to women in business and industry experts talking about their ideas, journeys, experience, and the challenges. ABWCI recognizes 4 big challenges faced by women: access to finance, access to market, access to technology, and also access to entrepreneurial ecosystem. There are some countries which you feel that they are very, apt for entrepreneurial ecosystem, but what happens is that they are also struggling because they are not in a position to finance women entrepreneurs, as if you look at the numbers, globally as such. So we are taking head on onto these challenges and trying to create an ecosystem which will help countries to adjust to their demand in terms of when it comes to finances, entrepreneurial ecosystem, and market per se. So I'm very glad that ABWCI has taken the step to work, towards this, and this is the inaugural chat session which we are hosting. And I'm very delighted and glad that this has been started with our very close friend, Chaya Nanjappa, who's the founder and managing director of Nectar Fresh. About Chaya is an award-winning first-generation rural women entrepreneur. Really from the grassroots, she has come and she is doing so well. I'm so happy that this is happening today. She is an experienced leader who specializes in food processing and production of natural agri products in India, and she is now sending her products globally, and pure and quality products which you are getting in various parts of the world. She is the founder and managing director of Nectar Fresh, and also a proud ABWCI country president of India. So I'm delighted to have Chaya with us as a guest speaker. Chaya ji, really delighted to have you today. And I have spoken to some of the members and stakeholders. They are all so happy that this is happening today with you as an inaugural session which we are having. So thank you so much for this, your time and what you have created. It's really great. I always tell my friends when we go for to 5-star hotels today in India and abroad, where we see and we eat the honey which is produced by Nectar Fresh, and jams and so many other products, coffee. So I'm really glad that you are here. So Chayaji, just from the perspective of this change, I wanted to also understand from you that when you were growing up, when you were in college or young adolescent and young, I can say young girl, you had aspirations and you were studying. How did you come and how did you start this business? If you can talk about this. And this is a very, very informal chat show. People want to listen to you and also listen to your experiences, challenges you had, and how you got this opportunity and how you started. And also I wanted to know how did you get your first purchase order, or maybe I can say the first check. So over to you, ma'am.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Parul ji, for the introduction. To me, it's been such a privilege being part of ABWCI, because rather than a women's organization, I truly consider it as my family. And I mean it from the heart, because all these years when many organizations were asking or requesting me to be part of their organizations, I had this apprehension: would they walk their talk? And that was the reason I was not taking it up. Now with ABWCI, I could not have taken a better decision than this. I feel so privileged to be part of it. And then about my journey, something that I have not spoken to you all is that it is a very big down in my life that got me into entrepreneurship. Actually, those days, I'm talking of a couple of decades back, I don't think we women had that lenience for us to say no to our parents. And my parents thought that I should settle down very, very early in life. So while I was just maybe 17, I was engaged and I I got into a life. But then later I went through such a big down in my life that I never ever thought one day I would survive to tell and share a story as this. Then at that down in my life, at that particular phase, my whole world revolved around cooking, gardening, and housekeeping. I never knew anything beyond that, and I didn't even have a confidence to even sign a check. Many say I was above average in studies. I'm not really sure, but I had to discontinue because of circumstances. But because of my passion for current affairs, I did my post-graduation diploma in mass communication through correspondence. So when I went through this very big down in life and I lost my father at that point in time too, I really thought everything around me had collapsed. And the only thing I had in mind was that I had to do something to stand up for myself and maybe support others who are, I would say, especially from rural India, because here I was from rural India who had discontinued my studies, lost everything in around 10 years from then, and I had to start afresh. And that is when I thought, let me create something where I could truly support and then even stand up for myself. And at that point in time, I thought of honey because back then my homeland Coog was known for honey and there were issues with quality of the product. So my only thought was, let me get into honey. That is only my homeland was known for only honey then. So with that thought, I thought, let me get a product where I could give a quality product to the market. And that is how Nectar Fresh happened. And my mother was such a big strength. She said, staying in Coog, you could not do something like this. So that is how she sent me to Bangalore. I chose rural Bangalore with rural empowerment in mind. And that is how I set up this very small Nectar Fresh unit. That is when I got to know cottage industries came under the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. And with that, backing of the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, I set up this very small unit involving around 7 rural men and women to support me in my first unit and my first purchase order. From day one, the one thought I had in mind was, whatever I do, I will do it to perfection. And when I thought of honey, I thought, let it be one of the best quality product in the market. With that thought, when I specialized in, processing as well as, I would say, procuring honey, and I sort of eventually got my end product, I was wondering, where would I supply this? I knew that I should give it to a quality market. And I thought, let me be different and let me target the foreign brands. People laughed at me. They said, when the big brands could not replace them, a small scale unit backed by the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Those days, Khadi and Village Industries Commission products was typically considered something as the middle class, consumed with not great packaging, and I mean, an ordinary product. I changed the perception of the Khadi and Village Industries Commission I still remember my first PO was from the Le Meridien. I went to the executive chef. I never knew how to connect to the purchase department. And then how I went there, because I was not even, computer savvy. I went to a cyber cafe, learned the basics. Then I went for a training at CBRTI Pune for 1 week to learn about the processing, picked up all the machinery, the equipment, everything, and then manufactured a world-class product. Decided I had to replace, I decided that it has to be a world-class product. And I knew that my competitors should be foreign brands who are in the Indian market. And that is how I went to Le Meridian. And then when they contacted me, they said, you are an unknown brand. We will not be comfortable because the customers of our clients will not be comfortable. But then I said, you please give it a try and see the quality and kindly let me know. And after 15 days, I still remember Chef Vijay Bhaskaran, wherever you are, I'm indebted to you. He calls me and says, yes, your quality is much better than the foreign brands we used to purchase. And that's how I made my entry to replace the 20-year-old monopoly of foreign brands in India's high-end market.
So proud of you, Chaya, and the work that you have been doing. I've been watching you from last now more than a decade. And I'm so proud when I introduce you and when we look at your products and so on. Which was the first company which gave you the first order?
The Le Meridian in Bangalore.
Oh, wow. So I think you started very well with such a large group. And it was really good to see that they took a chance, because the thing is, if you are a new entrepreneur, then, they sometimes don't believe you. But I think your products were so good that they really instantly started believing in you and they tested the whole thing. So Chaya, from that perspective of bringing that kind of change and also bringing the product, giving that product for samples and all that, how did you inspire so many, rural women? Because you always are very, very, I can say, proud that you are a rural entrepreneur. So how did your thing started in terms of inspiring the rural women, and also looking at these women started working with you and they became your stakeholders?
What happened is actually, Parul, once I entered with honey to the 5-star hotels in the country, immediately the distributor network of Berenberg and Born Mema, whom I replaced, they rushed to the country. They met all the purchase heads. They said, which is this brand that has replaced us after so many decades of their presence? And that is when they noticed that it is a small scale unit from rural. Back then I was in a rural place near Bangalore, but situation there made me again relocate to Nanjangud. By then I was back to Nanjangud and Mysore. That's where I met Rajappa and things like that. So that is when I was doing with this honey. What happened? These brands, the distributors who came here, they happened to say Nectar Fresh supplies you only honey, whereas you need a basket for your table. So they said they doesn't have mayonnaise, they don't have tomato sauce, they don't have the jams, apricot, strawberry, orange marmalade, mixed fruit, and mustard sauce, all these products. So just for one product, why do you rely on a brand? So the purchase heads, they called me and said, Madam, it's hard to convince them. So we will have a problem with the supplies if they were to stop their supplies here. So that is when I said, give me 1 month's time. I will work it out. And at that point in time, I called many women who had sick units running jams or sauces or these small setups. Then I bought their samples, collected it, and I realized that there had to be change in the end product, either with the, I would say, the essence they were using or any other products that it had to be of better quality. Then I took it from them, altered the taste, and I replaced all these SKUs or products within a month. actually, Parul, and that is how I initially started. I replaced them in across the country, maybe in 300 hotels, maybe in a 5-month period. Initially, I started with 10 to 12 hotels, and that is how I made my entry. And how I inspire rural women folk, we buy our produce from the local small farmers. Sometimes, or many a times earlier, they didn't have a person to consistently buy their produce. And even with the tribal women, we are the largest buyers of tribal honey in the country. And many of the women, they contribute enormously in the agri sector, as well as the tribal women, with the end product that their men get to their home. Their cleaning of the entire process is done by the women. So that is where this connect with them happened, and we are very happy that I'm doing my little bit to the community.
Very good, Chaya. I think this is an inspirational story, because how you transform the rural India, the rural women, and use their expertise, use their knowledge in this entire, creating this such a value, purposeful product as such. I have, a question for very successful. This is for successful women entrepreneurs like you, because when I interact with you, I go for these events, and you handle things so well. Your fans, your people, how they follow you, your community, your constituency as such, which I always talk about. If you can you just let our audience know, our members know, how do you spend your day? Because there are, if you look at a weekday, if you can let us know, because a lot of women, sometimes they talk about that, they're 2-3 fronts in life. One is the home front, one is the family front, it's an entrepreneur front. How do you manage, how do you juggle this so well, and being so successful as such? Because that's a question for so many women as such. And I will also request my audience and members that if they have any questions, please put it on the chat box, and we'll read through those questions, and then I will request my colleague Ritik to then put you on face-to-face on the screen, because we are a virtual chamber of commerce. So we have to be virtual. We are carbon neutral platform. So we are very happy that we are doing this virtually. And so Chaya, just from that perspective, the juggling part, the family part, your home front, and your business front, how do you juggle, and how you're so successful? This is a mantra for so many women.
Well, I think, Parul, when you give 100% to any particular task that you do at that point in time, then I think you can balance it to perfection. Before 9 o'clock in the morning, it's priority at home. I love cooking. I love taking care of my family. So it's all about seeing that they are all fine, they are comfortable. And post 9 o'clock, I specifically see that it is for my work, and also to all the associations and numerous, I would say the small farmers, our entire ecosystem where we are part of. I give them time, and when I do that, it is of 100% genuinity and really doing it from the heart. When you do something which doesn't give you happiness, that is when you feel stressed. To be honest, all of them ask me at around 9 o'clock in the evening, how do we find you still so fresh? That is where I say, since I enjoy doing everything what I do, be it working so hard at the processing plant, assisting Rajapal with whatever he does, or bringing in new markets for our products, or planning on a new product or a new business venture, spending time to encourage women. All this are something that, and the social work that we are part of. We are part of numerous social endeavors. I truly love it from the heart.
Good to know, Chaya, but people want to ask when Chaya sleeps. I don't know, because the thing is Chaya is working 24/7. So do you really get time to, for yourself? And, how are you taking care of yourself? And these are basic questions, because this dialogue series is only to unveil and to basically have a dialogue to see that, more and more women learn from the success stories. And the success stories are live stories, and you are live people. Because, as you know, I'm also an entrepreneur. I also want to learn from my fellow women entrepreneurs, because you have so much to do. So I want to know that, do you get ample time for yourself?
I do, definitely. Each one of us, we need to take time for ourselves too. Or else, I think that what is most important is, if you don't take care of yourself, you're always stressed, you're always tired, there's not much of positivity within you. I take time out for myself, and the best part is, Parul, in fact, since I love what I'm doing, that itself rejuvenates me, that de-stresses me. So I
Correct.
generally say, kindly do what you truly love. And when you choose a profession, let it be something that you feel like giving your 100%. And that is when you feel so happy with it, and it reflects, and it truly reflects with whatever you do.
No, good to know, because these are good things to know, because a lot of people, as women and also men, I can tell you that, when they are in 40s, they are struggling to be meaningful or purposeful, and they are then struggling to see what next. And here I meet you, such a successful, women entrepreneur, women in business, who has not only, struggled in their initial part of the life, and then worked so well in creating such a good brand, and supplied to Fortune 500 companies as such. So good to know these things, because these are learning for many as such. Now my question is that, when you meet these young women entrepreneurs and you interact with them, what are three things which they should do? And these are crisp three things which they should do if they want to be in business.
One aspect that I completely believe in is that never ever give up. Second is that give highest importance to ethics in business. That can take you to places. You'll be surprised to know, Parul, our budget for marketing there's no budget for us for marketing. I single-handedly promote the brand, not even visiting any places now. And the third is, it's consistent quality that can take you places. These three aspects are so important and crucial, not even to sustain, but scale up your business.
So you are saying that, if I've correctly understood, one is that the quality of the product, which is basically, one is you have to believe in yourself, and the quality of product should be superb, so that there is no compromise on the quality. Second is, yes, and second is basically looking at, if your product is good, you don't need marketing. Am I correct? So from that perspective. And the third is, never give up. So I think these are good lessons, as or our successful businesses, around the world, because I see a lot of our members from Nigeria joining in, and for them, because when I meet them also, it's very inspiring, because how, ABWCI Nigeria is doing, it's really great work by the president. So my thinking is that, but this is universal, because if you are talking about it, you have really seen the effect and also the benefits of what you have got because of the commitment that you have given as such. So my next question to you is that, when you look at this entire thinking about, entrepreneurship now, and you meet the young entrepreneurs, these young entrepreneurs sometimes are are starting businesses, but these businesses are not very profitable, but they then put in more money and all. What do you feel, or what do you think about it, that is it that the businesses should only invest and not talk about, or not really look at reaping the benefit in the short run? What is your advice to the entrepreneur? Or they should look at this constantly, because my feeling is, if you have eye on the ball, eye on the whole Excel sheet and the returns of the money, that is important. What is your view on that?
Well, Parul, I think first of all, when they get into business, they should consider the feasibility of that. I have seen many of them coming from some other distant state, choosing a product where raw material procurement itself is so expensive for them. First of all, they need to look into the feasibility of the product or the business that they're going to get into. And they should always look at starting small and then scaling up. They get into huge businesses without, why have we been able to sustain? Because we have all started small, learned through experience, and then gradually scaled up. That is where I think they have somewhere, they have had issues of scaling up. And one important factor that I've noticed is they want success immediately. That can't happen in entrepreneurship. Even today, I work at times for 10 to 11 hours a day. I mean, if you expect to be successful overnight, you just work for 2 years, 3 years, and then, you just want to give it all up because they say it's not working. It has to be a passion. Only when you're so passionate with what you do, then you become realistic too. And a lot of sacrifices involved.
No, very true, because I think, to understand, take baby steps, and when you take those baby steps, very cautious about, the money which you are investing, the whole, passion in this entire thinking about how we are taking it forward. Then the third is also business sense. What is reaping the benefit? Because as you all know, as and successful entrepreneurs and budding entrepreneurs, they have to be very, very, focused on the product line, also focused on the need of the people, because sometimes the needs are changing very fast. And if the needs are changing, you have to then adapt. You have to be flexible, all those kind of things. And I see, this coffee at your at the back on the shelf, and these days, the change in coffee order. People used to earlier drink, hot coffee. Now in India also, people are going for cold brew, So I think things are changing rapidly, Chaya. My last question, and then we'll open it for our audience and our members as such. What do you see as change coming, or is already there? So this will be very, very helpful in understanding that if from your perspective, that how is the world changing?
Well, I currently feel you see a drastic change post-pandemic in demand for quality products, even if it is expensive. Earlier, people were looking more into the costing of a product, Parulji, but nowadays I feel post-pandemic, what you really have to look into in any of the business it could be is quality, quality, and quality alone. It reminds me of a businessman from the Middle East who paid us our 100% of advance and then waited for 20 days for us because we had a lockdown, to start a business just to collect that product. So nobody, definitely we should have an advantage of a price because we can't be unrealistic either. But post-pandemic, people are more keen to buy quality products at a higher price. And that is where all of those of us who are very keen on the quality of the product, and we are so connected across globally, and exports have become much more easier. And there is no challenge with that too. It's just that you have to have a competitive price and a good product. I think quality products are now here to stay.
Very good. I think this is also I'm experiencing myself that, people are now looking at quality in terms of they are ready to pay price. They are now looking at the nutrients and all the health parameters as said, because in last 2 years, either they have lost someone or they have suffered a lot in this. And the third, which I feel, as which you are saying, is that they are looking at more purposeful food. They are, because I met someone in Georgia, and that person was specialized in live food, and that person used to tell me that this is living food and this is a dead food, and this is so alive in my head, and people have started now realizing that they want to have live food, which is basically food is plants, vegetable, and all that, which is basically greener, healthier, better, quality-wise, and all those things. I think that's, and when you are in the food industry, know that this so well and all that. My last now question, because I don't want to nudge you, but we'll have more questions from the members. My question to you is the last in terms of what is your last in terms of what is your advice to our members as such, and how you feel that advice has helped you?
All of us, yes, they're all, many of them, almost all of them are hugely successful, more successful than I am. I've got so much to learn from them itself. What I would say is, we women especially have lot of challenges as in it could be procurement of raw materials, workforce, or marketing, and many issues. But something that we would not have considered as one of our biggest hindrances is when unexpected challenges come by. I had a very major challenge, Parul, just for 10 months. My new venture, Naman, is one of the biggest outlet for tribal and rural artisan products in the country. I wanted to promote eco-friendly and sustainable products and help many rural artisans and tribal artisans scale up what they were doing so that it can become a livelihood for them, so they don't move to the cities. So as I was doing, I saw the challenges coming up plenty because of the national highway issue. I had almost felt, should I wind up the whole business process? I was thinking, because here I had built a outlet which was worth around 1.7 CR, and for 10 months I'm just paying the interest rate. Nothing was happening because officials, lot of issues. But I had this never give up attitude, and I have to tell you, day before I got it cleared. I never gave up. I was so stressed, but I thought, no, I'm not going to give it up. What I want to tell everyone is, we women have an inner strength. We ourselves are not aware, and we use it when the situation rises.
No, very good. I think
definitely at 10 months I was feeling so restless, Pavel.
No, this is great. I've seen this in you, that it can be any challenge from anywhere. It is that, if you don't give up, you have to have the strength and, bold moves, and also God will help you, and your stakeholders, your constituency, everyone will come and help you if you are meaningful in your work as such. So thank you, Chaya, for such a candid conversation, and I really like the advice, the work which you are doing and also talking about all these things. I think and not only you are strong, very passionate, very purposeful, and you are inspiring millions of women across the world. And I'm very happy that you are our president for India, and you are also shining in ABWCI, not only in India but also with your work globally. So I will just stop here, and I will see if people have questions here, and we will take questions. One of the questions which is coming now, from our young friend is for you, Chaya. What are you, one is they want to know what you're producing. You have spoken about, honey and many, agri products. The packaging is very fine and attractive. I love your words of encouragement and your never giving up, spirit. This is more as a comment. But if you want to talk about, what all products you have, the products as such, in a nutshell, you spoke about honey, you spoke about jams, food processing, and other things. If there is anything you are doing, you are also collaborating with the country Israel. If you want to talk about it, that would be helpful. Then I'll take other comments. Yes.
Other than every product of ours has a story behind it. This honey was for the tribal empowerment. And with that, we got into jams because a lot of people here in the area they had sort of grown papayas and a variety of mango, which didn't have buyers. So that is how we started jams without preservative, color, or flavor. And after that, to bring in additional source of income to our small farmers, we, with the help of an R&D institute, we help them grow superfoods. Chia and flax is grown by them. We buy back that produce, and we have slowly grown to become one of the major suppliers of chia and flax in the country. After that, we thought of, because of, like I said, when you believe in a good product, adhering to highest standard of ethics, business comes to you. One of our retail chain, they said they want to pack apple cider and mother vinegar at our place. So that's how we started supporting a lot of small farmers in Kashmir. Then we thought of bringing in coffee without chicory, and that is when we started manufacturing coffee powders here at our facility. And then we got into dry fruits grown by small farmers. We are already into cashew and raisins, and then we are into peanut butter and spirulina chicky. So we are into all these products.
No, thank you so much, Chaya. I think you have such a large range of products because it is the length and breadth of food in terms of processing and other. And so a lot of, congratulations to you, which has come from across now the world, from a lot of people who have joined from Africa. This is also going live on YouTube and also other social media channels. And I feel really honored that, we could do this kind of discussion and also have a very purposeful dialogue as such on this. I will now stop here, and if I will see if there are any other questions as such. People are really congratulating you for this, insightful conversation and your discussion on this. And I'll just see, somebody, our president has from Maldives is saying congratulations to ABWCI team and Chaya, you for an inspirational, for inspiring women, as such. We have Chaya Sharma, who's our president from Nepal. She has written about, saying that, she's conveying namaste and she's happy to be here as such. Kumud, who are our president for Jharkhand and Bihar, is also writing and congratulating and saying that, she's inspired of your work and also inspired of your passion. So she's saying passion is so good to run your business, and this is really important. So I think thank you so much, everyone, our members, our stakeholders. This is really good that people could join as such. And there are also business links. Priyanka has joined us, and she's saying that she deals in stone powder like calcium hydroxide, quicklime powder, and and she has a business which is on pharma, and she has said that she will be happy to also if there are other business entrepreneurs who want to do business. She has left her number, and she's saying amazing session, and she's from Udaipur. So I think this is so good. This is so great that we could host this first session, and the first session with our really inspiring lady, inspiring women entrepreneur, Chaya Nanjappa. Really, thank you from ABWCI, and thank you from all our members for a candid conversation, and the conversation which will go on in a series. We will host this session every 15 days with new personalities, and also with our presidents, our ambassadors, our members, and also with government dignitaries from across the world. I'm really proud to say that we could start this, and this is virtual, so there is nothing which will stop us in people or members joining our joining the session. Please send us your suggestions, feedback, and also questions, and also help us in making ABWCI a great place, and also making ABWCI world's largest platform on this earth for women entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. Signing off now, and joining you in next 15 days, and with new personality and with new inspiration. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chaya, once again for joining in, and we're really glad that you could join in, and we really enjoyed the candid conversation. Inspire women, and we want to follow you, and you are an inspiration to the world, and I'm really proud of you always. Thank you, Chaya.
Thank you.